All right, guys, welcome back. First of all, I want to apologize for the lighting quality. As usual, I'm driving. It's in the evening. Time now is about 4:20, 4:23 exactly, actually. So, yeah, I mean, it's evening here in the UK. We do get dark a little early during the winter hours. So, yeah, apologies, first of all, and I hope the audio quality is good. I am using a microphone, but I'm not sure what the quality is going to be. As usual, I'll probably just record this and just post it without any editing or whatever, solely because I like my videos to be real, okay? So you know that this is not being read from a script or anything like this. This is what I am about, right? Anyway, we'll talk about the market today. I was going to make a video yesterday. Funny, I was going to sit down and make a live stream yesterday, but I didn't have enough time, and you know, I just got busy with kind of a few bits and bobs around the home. So I thought, like, you know what, I'm just going to get rid of that. I got tired and I was like, right, you know, let's just forget about it, because there was nothing important anyway. There was nothing significant in the market. It's not like, you know, my previous videos where I've said to you guys, this is going to happen on this particular day, this is going to happen on that particular day. I don't have enough data to go ahead and make up a timeline and say, right, this is what's about to happen around this time. Right, we were expecting a correction, we got that correction. Question now is it over, right? Well, to be honest, when I'm looking at the altcoin markets and a lot of the other alts, I'm in a bit of a doubt, right? I'm in a bit of a doubt, because I'm seeing some of the altcoins that did not pump during the mega pump that we had recently, right? They did not pump at all. But now I'm seeing they are also pumping, and they're showing a lot of volatility, which is okay, right? Which is okay. That keeps me a bit doubtful. It's like, okay, is this the correction, or could we have more? Because one thing I'm always aware of, right, is after we've had a significant pump in BTC, or the most dominant cryptocurrency on the planet, right, which is BTC, right, we know that profits will be rebalanced and, you know, redeployed, right? So people who have made a lot of money, you know, 160, 70%, whatever it was, right, they made from the bottom to now, well, they're going to cash out and they're going to go somewhere else. Now, the narrative is that there's the same group of people moving funds from one protocol to another and pumping the market. I don't really trust that. I do see a lot of engagement with a lot of cryptocurrency blockchains, solely because there are airdrops, and that's the truth, right? There are airdrops, but what you got to understand, people are not necessarily going to buy anything, right? When they're interacting with these blockchains for these airdrops and whatnot, right, they don't really have to interact with the whole ecosystem. All they have to do is interact with one or two protocols. In fact, most of the time they just have to interact with the blockchain to receive the free airdrops, right? That's about it, right? This is how it is. So this is a new way of kind of a new innovation into the market, where if you want to really pump your coin, the best thing to do is do an airdrop, right? But do an airdrop which is an interactive airdrop, which means you got to interact with the blockchain in order to get the airdrop, and this way they do a nice little collaboration, and a lot more funding is done through this. So of course, if you buy the cryptocurrency, buy the coin, provide liquidity and XYZ, then it's a whole different story. Like there was this one project recently, I forgot the name. I think it's called Blast. I think it's called Blast, right? It's another ERC20 project, right, or Ethereum scaling project, right, called Blast. And they didn't release the coin, they didn't do none of that business. However, they have started to make the marketing, the announcements and whatnot, and I think they have like $800 million worth of Ether kind of locked up, on the total value locked for the liquidity or something like this, right? That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money. And they haven't released anything yet, but they are going to release it. So let's see what happens. So this is the kind of stuff, right? You don't necessarily have to interact with the coin directly. You interact with it indirectly in order to receive this. So there are lots of different formulas out there how people are doing this, right? So that's that. Now, looking at the greater markets currently, right? When I'm looking at the weekly, everything to me is saying it's not over, right? So when I look at the market saying BTC charts, especially the charts, right? So forget the market, forget the news, forget everything. When I look at the chart is telling me that, like previously it was telling me it was due, right? And he even gave me a kind of a timeline to when it's due, hence why I was able to say, you know, it's going to be the second Sunday of December, right? I may have got it slightly kind of, when I mentioned it, I got it wrong when I said middle of December. What I meant to say, and I have corrected myself way before the crash, by the way, so nobody can turn around and say to me that I did not correct myself, right? I did correct myself and tell everybody on another video, guys, by the way, when I mentioned the middle of December, I meant the second week, the second Sunday of December, hence exactly what happened, right? So anyway, that's that. And so that's what I'm saying. So the market is still pointing down. We need to see more data for it to, you know, give us signs that whether it wants to go up or not. So right now, as I said, you can't tell anything. Right now, in the beginning of this fresh week, this fresh weekly candle, which is a red candle, right? We can't really say what's going to happen. What we need is confirmation candles, right? Now, confirmation candles, we ideally want to see, if it's a weekly candle that we were calculating on, we want to see a weekly confirmation, right? That's going to be very, very critical for us to see. And these are the bigger moves, right? These are the bigger moves. These are the moves that, you know, give you tens of thousands of dollars in BTC these days, right? Tens of thousands of dollars. Think about it, right? This is the kind of move that gives you 160% pump, right? So that's what you got to understand. That's what I'm looking at. So for me, as I said, I'm being a bit doubtful to what the market's playing right now. But I do take facts that are on the chart for the BTC that's telling me there is still more to come. How far, we don't know yet until we get a confirmation candle. So, you know, you just got to play this calm. Hence why before this whole thing came in, I've been warning a bunch of you guys regarding trades, stop loss and trailing loss and whatnot, right? Trailing stop, sorry. And to the point where I have already cashed out of many coins that I played the pumps recently, right? So, you know, I went in, I played the pumps, I got out, okay? So for me, I haven't lost a single dime. In fact, I'm in profit, right? And I hope a lot of you guys are as well. Because look, the best I could do is just warn you of what's going to happen. And I've done that. But then the judgment is up to you. The call is going to be made by you, all right? It's your money, do as you please, right? So that's what's happened. So when I zoom into the daily now with the BTC, right? So when I zoom into the daily, I see that, yes, we had a massive daily bearish candle, but then the next candle, which is going to close tonight, is also bearish, by the way. So if that is the second candle confirmation for bearishness, then we know it's going to go down even further. So that gives me a little bit of a confirmation that the weekly indicator or the weekly chart is definitely giving me the correct signal. And the daily is also showing that, yes, that's more of a probability. So it's all based on probabilities, right? We talked about when we do dump, what kind of a threshold, what kind of a level, what kind of a zone we shouldn't fall below. And if we do, then we might go back to the lower levels. And we did mention 40K, and hence we've got 40K. Now, I'm not sure if I've published that video or not. Guys, I make tons of videos when I'm driving, but a lot of the times I can't be bothered to just publish them, right? There's many reasons behind this, right? And I'm going to get to that in a bit because it is quite important. So let's move over to Ethereum right now. On Ethereum, we did kind of peak below the $2,142 level. We did peak below. We have recovered yesterday. So we did recover yesterday. However, we've got a higher low today right now. You know, or technically a lower low compared to yesterday, right? Which is a bit concerning. That means it could come down. Now, a lot of you guys who have watched my videos very recently may have seen a chart where I had an Ethereum and I said, do not ask, right? And that all kind of plays into what I'm predicting based on probabilities, right? So based on probabilities, what am I predicting? So if we have this crash continuation, then the probability is we're going to go and hold above that do not ask me area. And I'll show you that on another chart, on another video very soon. It is quite important to see that. And listen, guys, my chart's not changed. So if you want my chart or anything, I'll happily give it to you. So that's that. Yeah, and then you know, that's it. Other than that, I'm seeing a lot of coins like, you know, the ones that I really kind of like, the ones that I'm kind of focused on right now, you know, Solana, XYZ. They're all doing great, right? I'll be honest with you, they're all doing great. But it's always wise to sometimes just take a little break, stand back and observe the market and say, right, okay, what's the greater market doing before I hype into this or jump into this, right? Now, one of the things that I do say, when the market is bloody, it definitely is a great opportunity to go into the market, right? So if there's a coin that you missed and this and that, just wait for a little bit. See how the market reacts this week. And this is not financial advice, by the way. Do whatever you want with your money. It's none of my business, right? I'm not a financial advisor. So I'm not endorsing anybody. I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to shill anything here, right? All I'm saying is the right mindset somebody should have is when they want to buy something or anything like this. And it doesn't matter how high it pumped. Like say, for example, there was a coin you looked at, which was a penny, and it pumped all the way to $1. It doesn't matter, right? What matters is it come back down again for a correction, and where is it settling? If it comes back to a penny, I wouldn't even touch that. So if a coin goes from a penny to $1 and comes back to a penny, I don't want to know about it. However, if a coin goes from a penny to $1 and then during a correction comes to 50 cents, by all means, I'm jumping into that, right? So that's what you got to look for. Look for that greater opportunity. Focus on the red candles. The red candles are your friends. The red candles are your friends, right? Not many people's going to tell you this, right? Everyone's going to talk about everything else. I'm going to tell you the red candle is your friend, right? Green candles are your worst enemies, right? That's when you should be always prepped to sell, right? And I've talked about phases, like there's a phase you buy and there's a phase you sell, full stop, right? You know, cycle within a cycle, super cycles, whatever, you know, mention it. I've talked about it so many times, right? I'm kind of, you know, like a broken record. So that's that, right? Now, I hope that was informative. Those of you who are still here, you know, please do consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed already, right? Hit that like button, you know, share with one another, for God's sake, right? Now, the reason I'm saying this is because, look, I've noticed, so my channel and the project I was working on, right? I want to talk a little bit about life right now, right? And if you are interested, please do continue listening, right? You're going to hear this, and this is kind of deep for me as well. So many years ago, I had a vision, right? I had a vision, like, you know, a urge to create my own cryptocurrency, right? But I never released it, right? It's been years in the making, right? The planning, the ideas, everything constantly adapting. It's been years in the kind of making, right? And I finally decided to establish a website and everything and call it Paradexes. So a lot of you guys know this by the channel, is Paradexes, right? So I did that. And I said, like, this is it. This is the community. This is how I want to build this. Now, along my journey, many things happened. And I kind of was a little bit confused, right? And I'm being honest with you, I was kind of confused. And, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to call my channel this. I'm going to call all my social media profiles Paradexes and this and that. This is what it is, because I'm doing a KYC. I'm trying to be fully doxed so people who come to Paradexes later on can find me easily, right? That's what I was doing, right? But Paradexes, I've come to realize, was more of a something that was pulling me back. This you know, whole vision, this whole idea of creating something decentralized, right, was kind of pulling me back. So every time I took 2 steps forward, I was being pulled back 3 steps, right? You know, every time I've gone in and invested money and this and that to make this a great project, I was being robbed and everything. These were all signs, right? But me being ignorant and egoistic, right, you know, to a certain point, I was like, no, I'm not going to take defeat. I'm not going to accept defeat. I'm going to go and I'm going to make this thing work, regardless what happens, right? All roads lead to Paradexes. That's what I said, right? And they kind of do. But question is who is Paradexes? That's what I forgot. I completely forgot. I am Paradexes, right? I am the guy who thought about this. I am the guy who thought about creating a community. I am the guy who had the vision. It wasn't the community, it was me. So I realized, I said, hold on, it's all about me, right? That's where I'm making a mistake, because I'm so, like, after doing this, I so much want to do this, right? At least in this lifetime, that I wouldn't accept defeat. I would do whatever it takes to make this thing a reality. And maybe that's where I'm doing everything wrong. So when I realized that, I kind of made an announcement on Discord, and I said, guys, Paradexes is dead, kaput, gone, finished, right? You know, I don't want to talk about Paradexes anymore. And this is probably the last time I will ever talk about Paradexes, right? Because it's not going to happen. It's the one thing that's been dragging me down, right? And it took me a while to realize this, right? And hear me out. The developers who are working, so this is people in the community, developers or whatever you want to call them, right? You know, most of them are scammers and robbers. They all knew this, but nobody bothered pointing it out, right? All they did was monetize on it. This is crazy, right? What you're about to hear right now. They monetized on it. And the community and everybody else, right? Everybody knew what the idea was. Everybody knew what the vision was, right? And nobody's actually ever thought to tell me that it doesn't work. When you're talking about the crypto community, the cryptoverse, right? You're going to come and do, Elon Doge or whatever, Dogecoin, right? Or Shiba Inu, right? Or Crazy Kitty or whatever you call it, right? DeFi Llama, whatever. Fancy names. The actual name was the whole thing. It was wrong. The name was just wrong. Yes, for me, Paradexes meant parallel decentralized exchanges across many, many chains. But the name itself doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. So when I looked at that, I was like, I realized, I turned into myself and I said, look into yourself, right? And I looked into myself and I had some deep thoughts, right? And I've been pondering for a few months actually, since the last serious thing that happened where Paradexes got taken off the table, right? I've been pondering, I was like, why? What did I do wrong? What was it that made this whole thing collapse, right? Believe me, it was devastating, right? And I was like, what was it? To the point where I was going through depression. I still am depressed, right? I was going through depression. All sorts of crazy thoughts came to me, because you didn't just lose a project that you've been funding and doing whatnot for many, many years. You lose credibility. People lose faith in you. And I've seen that. I've seen how my video views started to drop, and I'm not saying anything, by the way, guys, nobody's saying anything about views dropping, right? But what I'm trying to say here is it's not about YouTube being successful or not. I might not get a single view. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to make videos, right? But the point is I've noticed how people lost interest, right? People lost interest. And for me, it was like, why, right? Why? Because here is something that I was going to do, which everybody wanted to be a part of, right? Many, many people, right, wanted to be a part of, right? And things just kept on going wrong. It just kept on going wrong, one after the other. I've had many developer friends in the community who have said, dude, we're going to come in and we're going to help you build this. But even they didn't believe in Paradexes. How crazy is that? I was the only one who believed in it, and a few other people in the community kind of believed in it, right? So I'm on the motorway, but I'll keep the lights on, so at least that way you guys could see my face while I'm driving. So many people, didn't believe in it, right? But no one bothered to tell me, and it's okay. Do you know what? Most people are conservative. People like to keep their, thoughts inside themselves. I probably think aloud, hence why I'll say whatever comes in my mouth, right? or comes to my mind. I'll just say it, right? That's how it is. But that's what I realized, and I said, well, I can't have this one thing dragging me, or being a part of me for the rest of my life. Yes, I regret. Yes, I'm so disappointed that this is something I've lost. I am absolutely disappointed, right? I would have loved to see this thing be a success, but that's not what the market wants. That's not what the community wants, right? And I've noticed as well, the community doesn't come here for Paradexes, right? They never came here for that. They came here for me. So the decision I've made is I'm going to rebrand this entire channel. I'm going to delete a whole bunch of videos, right? Don't worry, most of the latest ones are going to stay, right? But I'm going to delete a whole bunch of videos. I don't care where this channel goes. I'm going to reset everything. The great reset for Sham, right? That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to rebrand it. It's going to be branded under my own name, right? So people get to know who I am. People come to meet me, right? And whether we talk about crypto or any other crypto projects or whatever, right? That's a whole different story. I want you to be a part of my journey. This is my video journey, right? Into the cryptoverse, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. That's what you're going to come here for. You're going to come here for questions that you have that other people couldn't answer for you. You're going to come here and say, Sham, right, what's going to happen in 5 years' time? Sham, what's going to happen next week, right? What do you think about this coin, right? What do you think about this project? What do you think about aliens? What do you think about science? What do you think about, evolution? whatever. What do you think about Darwin? You name it, right? You come here, you ask me, and I'm going to be ready to answer those questions for you. That's what I'm going to be doing, right? So it's going to be me, my opinions, and everything you're going to see here is going to be me. This time it's going to be real. So that's why I wanted to make this powerful video and say to everyone, guys, you know, I finally understand. And I would have appreciated if other people pointed it out to me. Because remember, I'm a very inclusive person. Doesn't matter how many people or who comes, right? I always ask the community questions, right? Of course, we have a platform, Discord, for that, right? And I'm going to stop posting links and this and that, because that's not what I'm about. I don't need to build a community right now. I don't need to. What I need to do is build this platform, right? I'm going to focus on building the YouTube channel more than anything else, right? Because this is where you guys get to talk. This is where you guys get to ask me questions and receive whatever answers I have for you, right? This is where this all happens. So I don't see a reason why I should continue and do something different. Does that make sense, right? So, sorry, there's a bit of traffic on the motorway. So that's what I'm seeing, guys, and that's how I thought, like, you know, I need to inform everybody. So tomorrow, if you come here, and this is going to happen gradually, right? But anybody who's watched this video, I hope you understand that the reason why I'm not going to use Paradexes anymore. This is not me, guys. You're going to see me. This channel is going to be all about me, right? And of course, we're going to talk about other stuff as well, right? And I hope people appreciate that. It's, you know what, I've looked at many things and I've wondered, and that was the only answer. It's like, you're doing it wrong. You're doing everything wrong. And why am I doing YouTube? I'm trying to help people, right? I'm trying to help people. I'm not trying to become famous or anything like this, or a large subscriber community. But you know what? That's always been the case for me. You know, didn't really care, didn't really bother. But I find this peaceful. When I come and talk on the video and giving you some information, right? Regardless whether I'm right or wrong, regardless whether it's my opinion or other people's opinion, you know, regardless whether I'm happy or I'm angry or whatever, this is me expressing myself. This is me expressing myself, and I want people to get to know me better and see, like, okay, what's this guy about, right? You know, and I think that's what I needed to focus on. So anyway, I'm not going to make this any longer. I hope information that you received regarding BTC and Ethereum so far, I don't want to talk about the greater market, because I'm looking at those two because they have the highest dominance, right? You know, one has 17 or 18% dominance, the other one has 50 plus dominance. So combined together, 7% of dominance, they are more important than anything else, right? If they shift, everything shifts, right? So just keep an eye on those. That's all I'm going to say. As I said, red candles are your best friends. Look for opportunities. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, none of that business. And this channel is going to get rebranded, right? So kind of just conclusion, right? Or whatever, I'm just summarizing. But I hope the video was informative, and I hope you guys understand what I've gone through. I know a lot of people, I know many people in the community who I interact with directly, who have gone through similar situations where they had to go and rediscover themselves, right? And this is my rediscovery. This is my great reset, and I hope you all like this, right? Other than that, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm not going to bore anybody anymore. I hope you guys stay safe, you know, play safe, keep your profits. That's the most important thing. And thank you very much for watching it until the end. I will definitely be seeing you guys soon on another video. Adios, amigos.